Okay. Let's begin our practice today by bringing ourselves into a comfortable position with the body. Please find a comfortable seat, lay down somehow comfortably, find child's pose if that feels good to you. Begin to settle in, nestle into your space, nestle into your own little area where you can cultivate your own practice. Your yoga mat is like your own little laboratory for exploration and experimentation. Let's take a few deep breaths, connecting in with ourselves, connecting in with our space, and connecting in with each other. Notice the ground underneath the body. Notice the sensations against the skin. Notice the sounds. Notice the tip of the nose. Feel the breath as it comes in. Feel the breath as it goes out. Notice the belly and the ribs. Breathe in deeply, expanding front to back. Release the breath. Allow the body to relax. Breathe into the ribs side to side. Release the breath. Allow the body to relax. Breathe in fully, front to back, side to side. Expanding the body as much as possible with the breath. Release the breath. Allow the body to relax. Let's consider how we might bring a sense of balance into our practice today, balancing the right and the left side, balancing the sun and the moon energies within, and finding balance, perhaps shifting weight between the sides of the body as well. This is an equinox, the time of equal light and dark, and always a good opportunity to cultivate balance in our practice. If you'd like to also set a specific intention or make a specific dedication, your own personal sankalpa for your practice, please go ahead. And let's take 2 more rounds of breath. After the second breath, let's move onto hands and knees, coming into our tabletop pose. Taking your time to arrive here. And as we arrive, look down, try to have the wrist underneath or slightly in front of the shoulders, and the knees underneath the hips. Let's take a few rounds of cat and cow breathing, moving our spine in tandem with the breath. Send energy down through the arms into the ground to help initiate stability. Think about initiating the motion of this cat and cow from the belly button, pulling the belly button up and in as you drop the crown of the head and tuck the pelvis under, and then pressing the belly button away from the spine as we pull the shoulder blades together, lift the sits bones, and lift the gaze. Move at a pace with your own breath that feels right for you. Let's do one more round of cat and cow. Take your time. And now come to neutral. Engage the belly, extend the right leg behind, flexing the foot, and then lift the toes up a few inches off the ground, just a few inches. Extend the left arm out like you're shaking someone's hand. Gaze down at the floor, holding your spinal balance here. Good. Now keep the leg lifted. Put the left hand back down on the ground and begin to stack the right half of the body over the left. You can keep the right foot in the air or put it on the ground. So you're either coming into half moon, low half moon, half moon, quarter moon, or you're coming into gate pose with the foot on the ground. Reach up through the right arm, reach up through the right side. On the next breath, release the body, come back to center, come back to tabletop. Take a breath. And now extend the left leg, flexing the foot. Float the toes up a few inches from the ground. Reach the right arm out in front like you're shaking someone's hand. Breathe into the spinal balance here for a few breaths. Good. And now place the hand back to the floor. Keep the leg lifted. Begin to stack the left side of the body over the right. The left foot may find the ground or it may stay lifted. Reach the left arm up into the air. And hold your pose or kind of go between your gate pose, and your low half moon. Concentrate, focus, breathe. On the exhale, allow yourself to release back to tabletop. And let's do a few more cat-cows. From a neutral spine or from a cat spine, bring the body into downward facing dog. Press down through the arms, through the pads of the fingers, curl the toes under, sweep the hips back and up. Remember, you can have a deep bend in the knees. You can have the feet as wide apart as you like to help this pose feel good to you. It might feel good to pedal the feet, sending one heel to the ground and bending the opposite knee. Nice and slow, one breath per movement. It might feel good just to hold the pose or find a little flow. Do what you like. Explore. Maybe even explore shifting your weight between the right side and the left side a little bit, and then coming back to center to find your balance on all fours in the pose. We're sending most of the weight down through the shoulder girdle into the arms and out through the hands. But there is some weight in the back of the body that we're sending down from the hips into the legs, into the feet. Let's take one more big long breath in this downward dog. See if you can inhale for 6. Hold for a moment. Exhale for 6. And on the next breath, let's come to forward fold, Uttanasana, stretching out the back. Bring the feet to the hands. Again, we can bend the knees a lot here, maybe grab opposite elbows to traction ourselves forward in space. Breathe space between the spinal vertebrae. Maybe visualize the breath coming in through the bottoms of the feet, up the backs of the legs, and breathing it out down the length of the spine, out through the shoulders and the crown of the head. Take one more big long breath here. On the next breath, let's slowly come up to standing, press down through the feet, and gently bring your body up. Take your time, allowing the blood pressure to shift. Once you arrive in standing, we'll extend the arms beside the body, palms face forward, or float the hands up to heart center. Press down into the feet, lift up through the tops of the legs, drop the tailbone down, lift up through the chest, Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Lift up through the back of the neck and all the way out through the top of the head. Notice what it's like to stand evenly balanced on both feet. Notice the equal distribution of your weight and your center of gravity. Feel both feet on the ground. And like the stability of a mountain and the strength of a mountain. Let's engage our Ujjayi breath. Find a slight constriction of the throat. Press the tongue against the top of the mouth. Breathe in and out through the nose with the mouth closed. Hear the sound of your breath. We'll use this breath as our guiding force as we move through our poses. And do our best to connect our breath and our movement. On our next inhale, we're going to reach the arms up. Inhale the arms, reach towards the sky. Exhale, fold the body forward, reach to the ground. Step the right foot back, come into low lunge. Let the knee touch the ground, send the pelvis forward and lift the gaze. Step back into plank pose. Top of a push-up. Come to the knees if you need to. Pause here. Take a breath. Feel balanced between the hands and the feet. Exhale, release knees, chest, and chin. 8-point bow. Then slide onto the belly. Slithering like a cobra. Press the shoulders away from the ear as you open the front body, stretching open. Send the body back now into downward dog. Press through the pads of the fingers, grip into the ground. Big long inhale for a count of 6. Pause with the breath. And then exhale for a count of 6. Release the right foot now so that you can step it up between the hands and find low lunge, dropping the left knee down to the ground. Send the pelvis forward and lift the gaze. On the next breath, gather up the body, stepping the feet together at the top of the mat in forward fold. With the next inhale, reach the arms back up, stretching through the fingertips towards the sky, and exhale. Hands come to heart center. Take a breath. This time leading with the left foot. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the body forward. Find a fold. Left foot steps back. Low lunge. Stepping back now with the right foot to plank. Pause in plank. Take a breath. On the exhale, drop knees, chest, and chin to the floor. 8-point bow. Slither, slide to the belly, cobra pose, or sphinx if you're modifying. Downward dog, shift back. One big long breath. On the next breath, releasing the left foot, step the left foot up between the hands and lower the back knee. Send the pelvis forward, lift the gaze. Gather up the body in forward fold. Exhale into this fold and then inhale up to standing. Reaching up through the arms and the fingertips. Exhale the hands down to the heart. Take a breath. We'll do 2 more rounds of Shiva Namaskar salutations, just a little bit faster. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Step the right foot back. Lower the knee to low lunge. Step back to plank. Move to the floor through your 8-point bow. Bring the front body open in Bhujangasana. Exhale, bring the body back into downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take one long breath. Release the right foot, swing it up between the hands. Low lunge. Come back to forward fold. And inhale up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath. One more. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to fold. Left foot steps back. Low lunge. Step back to plank. Exhale, 8-point bow, knees, chest, and chin. Slide onto the belly. Open up, Bhujangasana. Exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward dog, one long full breath. Release the left foot. Step the left foot up between the hands, low lunge. Bring the body back to the top of the mat in forward fold. Inhale up to standing. Exhale, draw the hands together into the heart space. Let's pause here for a moment. Feel ourselves standing tall in space, in our space, in our laboratory. Notice the sense of balance between the right and the left side. And from here, we're going to shift our weight to our right foot to come into tree pose, picking up the left foot to the inside of the right leg. It can be low, or you can pull the left foot all the way up to the inner thigh. It's even trickier if you have slippery pants on, to be honest. You can stay here, pressing the palms together to help you balance by squeezing everything towards the midline. Or if you feel stable and strong, you can reach the arms up. There's so many variations in tree pose that you can do with the arms and the legs. It's really about finding balance with one foot on the ground and the other foot off. Good. Slowly release on the next breath. Take a moment to stand evenly on both feet. Feel into yourself. Notice the sensations between right and left side. And now shift weight over to the opposite foot. Hopefully that's the left foot. Pick up the right foot to the inside of the leg. It can stay low like this, or you can pull it up, up, up. I have to move it with my hand. I think that balance is considerably easier when the hands are at heart center because your lever is shorter. Also, gazing out and down at a fixed point on the floor can help with balance in terms of standing on one foot. And if you like, extending the arms. Good. On the next exhale, release the pose. Stand evenly on both feet. Take a moment, perhaps close the eyes. Feel into yourself. Feel the energy of the left side and the right side. On the next breath, let's reach our arms up and exhale all the way down to the ground, folding forward, stepping our right foot back to come into Cappiasma Lunge. We'll lower the knee, then uncurl the toes. Kali Mudra, interlace all but the index fingers. Sweep the arms up, send the pelvis forward, reach through the heart space. Stay for one more breath. When we exhale, allow the hands to release to the inside of the front foot and come into lizard lunge, adjusting the left foot towards the long edge of the mat. Rock and roll the hips around, grabbing any props that you need. Let's settle into this lizard lunge and take 5 breaths. Two more breaths. Release the pose, swing the left leg back behind the body. Coming into plank, lowering to the ground. Opening the front body. Shifting into downward facing dog. Take a breath. On the next breath, come back to the top of the mat and fold forward in Uttanasana. Inhale up to standing. Exhale, float the hands down to heart center. Take a breath. On the next inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Step back with the left foot to Cappiasma Lunge. Lower the knee and then uncurl the toe if possible. Kali Mudra, interlace all but the index finger and then sweep the arms up, reaching back, sending the pelvis forward so we can open up through the front body, open up through the hip flexors. Take one more breath. And release the hands down for lizard on the inside of the right foot. Adjust the body to come into your shape for your lizard lunge. Take a moment to move around and get any extra props that you need. We will settle in now and take 5 breaths. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And now please release the pose, swinging the right leg behind, coming into plank or modified plank, moving back to the ground. Open the front body, downward dog. One long breath here. And on the next breath, forward folding at the top of the mat. With an inhale, bring the body back up to standing. Exhale, release hands to heart center. Allow the thumbs to rest against the chest. Close the eyes if you can, or just soften the gaze. Feel the heartbeat, the breath. We're going to come into dancer pose now, Natarajasana. And so we will stand, shift our weight over to the right foot, pick up the left foot and grab it with the left hand. You can stay here or start to press the foot against the hand and reach the right arm out away from the body. Keep lifting through the chest as you continue to press the foot against the hand. And find your dancer pose. This is also a good front body opening balance. Stay here for one more breath. And then gently release, come back to center, release the leg. Take a moment to stand once again evenly on both feet and notice the sensations. And now let's shift weight to our left foot, pick up the right ankle, grab it with the right hand, and begin to press the right foot into the hand, tilting forward. Reach the left arm out away from the body. Keep pressing the foot against the hand. Good. Maybe have a soft bend in the standing leg to help you with balance here. Take one more breath. And now release the pose. Come back to center. Take a breath. On the next inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forward to the ground. Step the right foot back. If you can, keep the knee lifted. We're going to come into high crescent lunge. Sweep the arms up. On the exhale, bring the hands together at heart center and then teeter totter yourself up and over your left leg to come into warrior three, finding balance here. Take one more breath. And now release to warrior two. Bring the fingers to the ground. Place the back foot about where you think it should go. And we'll open up towards the long edge of our mat, pressing down through the feet, through the shoulders. Look down and out over the left arm. Try to bring the left center finger into focus and make everything else a blur. Good. Trikonasana, triangle pose, lengthen out the front leg, reach the arms up, side bend out over the left leg, reach and then open the arms. Good. Rotate the torso open, press down through the outer edge of the back foot. On the next breath, release back into warrior two. And now let's bring ourselves into Arda Chandrasana, half moon balance. Begin to bring the left fingertips over towards the floor, bending the left knee. Stack the right half of the body over the left, flex the right foot. Stay here for one more breath. And then release, exhaling back into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Take a moment to notice the sensations. And then step, hop, or float to plank pose. Lower down to the ground through your 8-point bow or your chaturanga. Open the front body. Downward facing dog. One nice long breath here. On the next breath, bring the feet back to the hands. With an inhale, come back up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. Take a moment coming back into yourself, into your inner rhythms. Notice the sense of balance that you have. On the next breath, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Step back with the left foot to high crescent lunge. Reach the arms up on the inhale. Take a breath, exhaling the hands to heart center. And now shift up and over the right leg into warrior three. Try to keep the left toes pointing down towards the ground. Reach through the crown of the head. Find your balance. One more breath. Coming into warrior two, place the fingertips on the ground, place the back foot, and then open up towards the long edge of the mat. Press down through the shoulders, into the feet. Turn the gaze, look down and out over the right arm. Try to bring the right center finger into focus and make everything else a blur. And now lengthen out the front leg for Trikonasana. Reach the arms up overhead. Press the shoulders down. Side bend and reach out over the right. Reach. And then open the arms. Rotate the torso open. Press down through the outer edge of the back foot. Take one more breath. And now return to warrior two. Find balance in Arda Chandrasana, teeter-tottering up and over the right leg. Stack the left half of the body over the right. Soft bend in the standing leg. Flex the left foot so it's like you're pressing it against a wall. Take one more breath. Release the pose into forward folding at the top of the mat. Step, hop, or float back to your plank pose. Move through your vinyasa, your chaturanga. Open the front body. Downward dog. And now let's lower the knees to the floor. Press into child's pose, into Balasana. Taking a few moments to come back into ourselves and reconnect deeply with our intuition. Observing what we've learned so far through this practice. Taking time to notice any insights. or just to feel ourselves here, grounded, safe, and centered. And before we move into our final postures, I'll invite you to take 10 breaths to explore your own practice. Often I offer 5 and then 5 later, so you're just getting all 10 breaths all at once right now. If you would like to explore practicing an arm balance or an inversion or just a little more rest. Take 2 more big full breaths to complete wherever you are. And now let's meet on our backs, laying down on the ground to come into our practice of shoulder stand. You can do Sarvangasana Bridge pose. If you do, engage the inner thighs, squeeze them together, or roll up onto the shoulders in your Sarvangasana pose. Squeeze the inner thighs. Make sure the toes touch. Reach up through the legs, through the toes. And stay here for another 3 to 5 breaths. If you can, close the eyes and concentrate at the space between the eyebrows. This pose provides us balance in a different way by helping to reverse the flow of energy. So we're balancing out the downward flow and the upward flow of energies in our body, prana and apana. See if you can take 1 or 2 more breaths. When you release, either hug the knees into the chest or come into Halasana, plow pose, dropping the toes over the head. Coming into Matsuyasana now, fish pose as a counter pose to those poses. Make a triangle with the hands, place it under the sacrum. Rock yourself up, send the legs out away from the body. And then drop to the forearms. You may have to adjust that little triangle. Press the chest open, drop the crown of the head back. Open up through the throat. On the next exhale, let yourself release all the way down to the floor. Take a breath. And now bend the knees, feet flat to the floor. Cross the right ankle in front of the left knee to come into figure four stretch. Hug the left knee up towards the body, grabbing onto it with the hands, or grabbing onto the left leg with the hands, rather. Press the right knee away from the body, press the left knee towards the body. And now release the pose. Spinal twist. If you like, continue to cross the right thigh over or uncross the legs entirely. And now drop both knees down over to the left side. Open your right arm and turn your head to gaze out over the right. On the next breath, come back to center. Find yourself centered on the mat once again. Figure four stretch other side, cross the left ankle in front of the right knee, pick up the right foot, hug the right leg towards the body, press the left knee away from the body. Breathe into any sensations that you feel. Take one more breath. And now put the foot back down to the ground. Cross the left leg over all the way or uncross entirely for spinal twist. Drop both knees down over to the right side. Open up the left arm and turn the head. Gaze out over the left arm. Breathe into the sensations of your twist. Take one more breath. And now release, unwind, come back. Give the body a big hug, draw the knees up into the chest, maybe rock a little bit from side to side to massage out the spine. Get whatever you need for your Shavasana to make yourself comfy and cozy. And then go ahead and find your final resting pose. Release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Let the jaw relax. Allow the rib cage to soften. Relax the toes. Relax the fingers. Relax the feet. Relax the hands. Relax the legs and the arms. Relax the chest and the shoulders. Relax the pelvis and the hips. Back of the head heavy. Upper back heavy. Hips heavy. Arms heavy. Legs heavy. Begin to deepen the breath. Gently wiggle the fingers, the toes. If you like, take a full body stretch on your next inhale. And then exhale, bend the knees, bring the feet flat to the floor. Begin to rub the palms of the hands together vigorously. Use the friction that you're creating to warm the hands. And when the hands have some warmth, place them over the eyes. Gently blink the eyes open into the hands, letting the light in. And then keep a soft gaze as you bring the body into a comfortable seat to conclude and close our practice. The last balancing exercise we will do today is chanting the sound Om, which brings us an overwhelming sense of peace and balance, as well as providing us with nourishment and protection. You can make this sound out loud or silently. Bring the hands together at heart center, tucking the thumbs up into the chest. Take a big, deep breath in. And now lifting the thumbs to the forehead for good thoughts, thumbs to the lips for good words, thumbs to the heart for good intentions. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace to all, light to all, and love to all. This concludes our practice. If you like, acknowledge yourself bowing to the teacher within.